What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Podcast, episode 190. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
No, I'm here with Adam.
This week we watched The New Mutants.
Finally.
5 years in the making.
Dude, we've been waiting on this shit to come out for a fucking hot minute, right?
Yeah. Since
I mean-
2015.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this movie since before the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how long this shit's been in development. And, I mean, look, they kept shelving it. They obviously didn't feel confident in the film. And there are some discrepancies with the film that I have.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, it was not terrible.
Now, do you think they fucked up by shelving it?
I think so
Would it have
because
made more sense to put it out? No.
yeah, because
when it's
look at what those actors and actresses have gone on to do.
Yeah,
So
the
this
sequel's
was-
out. Well, I guess you could do it. It just have to be 5
Right.
years in the future.
Well, yeah, but not only that though, it's like those actors and actresses, the children or the
Yeah.
kids, whatever you want to call them, they've gone on to do great things. You've got the kid from the chick from Game of Thrones. You've got the dude from
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, and then
What's the
the
blonde
other
girl from? I
She was
recognize
from-
her, but
Split.
oh, okay,
Witch.
yeah.
Um,
And then the other guy, I didn't really recognize him.
no, but he did a good job
He
though.
did a
I
good
thought.
job. Hey,
Yeah.
I had something about because he's like some rich boy, right?
Yeah.
Why was he always washing dishes?
Because he kept fucking around and getting in trouble, I'm guessing.
Oh,
Keep him cool, man.
keep him calm.
Keep him
keep him from
cool.
overheat.
Well, not only that, though, like, I think that part of their whole psychological kind of recovery, or whatever you want to call it, is he came from a family where they washed the dishes for him.
Yeah,
So I also feel like that's part of his quote unquote treatment here, within this little institution thing. So, but yeah, they fucked up, in my opinion, by shelving this movie because, like, I mean, yeah, it gets kind of cheesy here and there, but this was filmed like 6 or 7 years ago at this point. If it was supposed to come out in 2015, then they were working on it in late 2013, 2014, right?
mm-hmm.
So you got to think that this shit's been in development for 6 or 7 years. So I think at the time that it was supposed to have been released, it would have fallen right in line with those X-Men movies that were released around that time, as far as like the some of the cheesy campiness of it. But
The one guy, he's done a lot of TV, but he's gonna
Which one?
be in Fireboy, Flamer.
yeah,
He's done a lot of TV, but he's gonna be in The Stand in all 9 episodes.
Okay, all right. So I mean, I thought that he did a
Yeah, he
great
did good,
job.
dude.
So,
Guess
but
who played the voice of the Smiling Man?
Manson.
Marilyn Manson, dude.
Yeah, I saw that, which is random as
Wow.
fuck. Yeah.
That motherfucker looked like Slender Man, dude.
Creepy as fuck, right?
Yeah.
So the movie opens with like some weird ass,
Well, that was the bear fucking her
yeah,
damn. What was it?
her
The
tribe.
reservation up.
Yeah.
It was her fault.
So, yeah, it was. It was. So she hits puberty and her powers start kind of manifested and all this stuff, and she can make people kind of live out their worst nightmares by bringing their horrors to
Deepest,
life.
darkest secrets.
Yeah.
Pretty cool power.
Yeah, very cool power. So she's like afraid of the dark. So obviously after she goes to bed this night, this fucking giant smoke bear.
That was happening while she was dreaming.
Yeah. Giant smoke.
Smokey's brother Blaze comes barreling in.
Yeah, for real,
He
right?
wants you to start forest fires.
He wants to destroy it all,
So her dad shows up from Wind Talkers. The same guy. I was like, where I know this guy from? Oh, it's Wind Talkers. But he rolls up and he's like, I got to go back.
Baby, we got to get out the trailer.
Yeah. It's on fire.
Yeah, right.
She tried to fuck on too. She's like, a tornado hit your, hit the reservation. She's like, oh, I could hear it growling. It's like, tornadoes growl.
I mean, they kind of do growl.
They do a little bit. I've heard people say.
I think what I've always heard is they sound like locomotives.
Yeah, like a train.
Yeah. But like right before that train takes off, it sounds like a bear train.
I will say, whenever remember when it hit County Park back behind my house?
Yeah.
I heard the like it was.
Yeah.
Enough to fucking make my ass go get in the closet. I was like,
yeah. I don't want that fucking thing fucking with me. But after this happens, like her dad's passed, like he's dead. She sees him, and then
that was fucked up.
Her whole village or her whole community, whatever, has been just her whole reservation has been just
Cheyenne. Is that what she said?
Yeah, something like that. I knew a Cheyenne once.
Yeah, but
but
then,
she hits her head and wakes up in a hospital, or what she thinks is the hospital.
Yeah.
And she's at this like old insane asylum.
Something like that. Everything's got locks on it.
Yeah, that was
handcuffed to the bed.
Yeah, right. And somebody looking at her through the vent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
she's just like, something's up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then it's kind of explained to her that this is a place for people that's had traumatic experiences.
Like every group film where people have special powers ever, it's like, this is a place for you to figure out who you are.
Yeah. What about the first time we see old dude from Stranger Things? He's got a black eye, his arms in a cast. Like, what the fuck happened to him?
He was fucking flying around with a cinder block tied to him. That's like he's out there flying around trying to get it under control, and his power's pretty cool. He fucked the smiling dudes up.
Like a fucking unhinged firework, man.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of funny that he worked down in like a coal mine, and he was pretty much a stick of dynamite.
Yeah, right.
Like I was like, oh, okay, that's a little.
Well, it's like he was
trapped in those small spaces in it.
Like he's almost like a speedster.
He felt claustrophobic, and he just blew up one day.
Yeah,
his dream was fucked up.
He has to go like, "What's your power?" And he's like, "I'm a speedster," but that's not really the point.
Plus the black eyes and stuff. He was like beating on himself.
Yeah.
Remember when he shows him?
Oh yeah,
himself?
the random cuts, like that really quick sequence that I thought was jarring. It would be like, okay, this bitch is sitting in her room. All right, she's damaged. Cut to this other guy. He's crying in the mirror, starts smacking himself. He's damaged. Cut to the other, and I just felt like that was a really quick, jarring sequence of clips.
As we see the chick with the puppet talking to the puppet, we're all like, all right, we know what happened here,
Yeah, for real, right?
We've seen this before too.
Yeah.
Little Doom Patrol going on.
Well, this movie felt that was going to be part of my overall consensus at the end, was that it felt like an hour and a half long Doom Patrol script.
Yeah,
it was real Doom Patrol-y.
Yeah.
Well,
then it's kind of like whenever they show her around the grounds and all this kind of stuff, it's like there's a chapel. Here's this chick that's from Scotland.
Yeah. What's the W stand for? It stands for wolf. Goddamn.
Right.
Winterfell. Goddamn it.
The dire wolf.
Haven't you been paying attention to who I am?
Yeah, for real.
He knows nothing.
And then it kind of like explains. They do like some group therapy sessions, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, it's like these are all damaged people. She starts to realize that they all have powers, and she doesn't have any powers, but she does, but she doesn't know what they are, how to control them. It's just like, But here's the thing, right? This is what I wanted to touch on before we get like deeper into the film. So you find out that like her power is to make, your, deepest, darkest, you know,
Your
secret
nightmares,
dread, yeah, come to life,
yeah,
right?
and like for real come to life.
Right.
This ain't no, oh, this shit can't hurt me.
Yeah. And they should have buried the lead way more, in my opinion. That was my biggest complaint with the movie because it should have been one of those things where she shows up, shit starts getting weird.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yes.
A lot
And
sooner. This movie's
well
only an hour and a half, but I'm with you on that. Like,
well, they go out of their way to show you that when she's dreaming, like those security cameras, when it
yeah,
shows that she's having this,
anomaly.
psionic, yeah, all this
Yeah.
anomaly shit. They should have cut all of that shit out. And it should have been one of those things where she's causing this stuff to happen.
hmm
The chick that's there watching them, she knows about it, but
mm
none of the other kids know about it, so they don't understand what's happening to them.
Yeah, I think they knew that she was the one that destroyed the village.
The kids?
Well,
No, the doctor, like
Oh yeah,
yeah, they
yeah,
knew she
yeah,
did it.
yeah. But what I'm saying though is like the doctor should have known what she's doing and what she's capable of, but us, the audience, and the rest of the kids shouldn't have known that, and they
Yeah.
should have taken it a more horror centric. Because think about it, she's bringing this shit to life,
hmm
and towards the end of the film, it's getting brought. As it goes on, it starts getting worse and worse, and it starts becoming more real and more real. And it could have been one of those things to where we don't know as an audience, especially not knowing or reading the New Mutants, that this is what she's capable of. And that should have been the big reveal of the
Yeah,
film.
they pretty
And
much just
then,
gave you that out of the gate. Like,
yeah, and then you could have had a more interesting and dynamic plot because it's like as these kids that are here, some of them have done bad stuff, some of them are misunderstood, then they could have had a conversation within themselves of, do we kill her ourselves? How do we stop this from happening? Because it's not going to stop while she's here.
well, this movie felt like it was two plots
well, that
that
was the thing. Their twist was this is this isn't the X-Men doing this. This is you remember the group?
SX
Yeah,
Corporation.
and we
Yeah.
find that out later. It's like,
Well,
oh, that makes sense.
well, I
That was
mean,
their
and
twist.
well, I felt like the movie could have lent more to the twist being the group of mutants getting their shit together.
Yeah.
Like, cause this whole movie, there's always in fighting. They ain't getting along. They don't fucking want to be there. They ain't having none of it. And for all intents and purposes, the narrative that we're seeing, we've seen before.
Yeah.
And to kind of spruce it up, or maybe it's because I'm trained by Doom Patrol right now. They could have had it to where the audience is aware of almost everything, but the characters aren't. And so watching them put shit together and becoming heroes in the end would have felt more. It would have had more oomph to it.
Right.
Yeah,
Which I
because
mean,
they
kind
only
of,
come together in like the last 5
because
minutes.
they
yeah,
very they sprinkle, they let you know right off the gate that something's going on and there's more to it. But I wish they would have revealed to the audience more what was going on, because that's how these superhero films are more or less. I feel like they're going to have to work with moving forward, because as we have so many already that are out, and the formula is, kid tested, mother approved. And so being able to, you being able to make it more about the hero, and be like, all right, well, we know that this corporation is doing this. They're going to take, let us see what they're fucking doing on that end. And
right,
then let the surprise be how the heroes come about stopping it.
right. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. But to me, if they would have went that route, like I think the whole purpose of it was like them approaching this from a different standpoint by making it more of a horror film. And like they completely ignore all the horror film tropes because it's like you're in this situation, you don't fully understand this situation, and as the audience, you're supposed to discover it along with characters in the film.
Well, they could have made the horror be the horrifying ways in which these people come into their abilities and how they do gain control of them by fighting off whatever the fuck they're having to fight off throughout the course of the film. You have those moments where you root for them, and then when you see like after, you see the fucking carnage report, and you're like, whoa, that's a bit much for an X-Man,
Right. But I don't know, it just feels like they kind of,
Or
I don't
spent
know.
more time actually showing us those
Well-
sequences instead of some of the people just telling us why they're there.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Like, I would have liked to have seen dude burn his fucking lady up and
Well,
how
dude,
that came about.
they had to cut stuff out of this movie.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
no way this movie was an hour and 30 minutes. Like,
Mm-mm.
had to be way more like at least 30 minutes of footage, right? At least.
And the movie there were moments where the movie was really like well shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Looked great.
For sure.
That bear was cool as fuck.
I think if there's anything to complain on that end, it's just what did end up on the cutting room floor
And why?
and what we got, because of like I said, there were moments where I felt like there are some ways you execute a 90-minute runtime and it's seamless.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of cases, and particularly with these type of blockbuster films, where a lot of good shit gets left out, a lot of good character development. And instead we're only getting ass ends of larger scenes and stuff where them acting and doing whatever they're doing doesn't seem as I'm just unstable as a human being. Fuck off, like they could have dialed in the fact that the other mutants have been in here for a minute, and you could play in more as to how that's kind of eroded their mindset a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
And instead of having the cliche group moments where it's all right, chick with the puppet, she's the smart ass that's got her shit under control, but
and
shake a stick of fire in front of her and she bitches out,
yeah, and when the new girl came in, like she wanted to know what her power was because she wanted to know that hers was better. Y'all notice that? Like, what's your power? Put her on the polygraph. And I'm like, since when is the wolf a fucking polygraph expert? Like,
which we all know that this movie has the skeleton of the preteen movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what it is, and it just kind of veers into R-rated territory when it needs to show blood on the screen.
Yeah. Which I'm perfectly fine with, and that's what this dude, Josh Boone.
Yeah,
Josh
that's his name.
Boone. That's what he kind of excels at is this kind of adolescents finding their way in life, and I think on the whole of what they were able to do in an hour and a half, I think that that worked out very well, with the different personalities and the way that and I think that excelled. But and then a lot of the mutant stuff, when that started happening, that excelled.
Well, I just I think like I feel like they spent, I don't know, an hour of the movie being the same person and not necessarily growing in any way except for Demon Bear Woman.
Right. But I mean, you have to.
And then suddenly it's like, all right, we had a lie detector test, and we know each other just a little bit more through a reluctant perspective, and Bear's attacking school. Let's get our shit together, y'all.
Yeah, but that's one of those things, like, we don't know how long the rest of them have been there together. Like, they never really explain that too much. So you have to assume that they have all been together. All four of the other members have been there for at least a reasonable
long
amount of
enough for them
time.
to get along.
Yeah,
Because they were
and
getting along like a big house on fire, dude.
Yeah, and them introducing. So it's like, on one hand, I understand what you're saying, Trav, but on another hand, it's like, well, we don't. The explanation that was needed for what you're saying wasn't in the movie, and it should have been, in my opinion, because if it would have been established, like, this chick came to the house at this time, and then he showed up, and he showed up. So they've been there for like 6 months before she showed up. Then their development and learning one another and their ticks and all this kind of stuff has already happened and already established in a real world scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and just none of it got really pointed out in the movie whatsoever. Like there were never, even down to bits of dialogue where when they would have a discussion, there wouldn't be a thing where it's like, oh, well, remember when you blah 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 blah. And it's like, well, fuck you, motherfucker. That was your fault. And then just those little quirky things that you look for and how these groups are, how you can form a, how you can give a shit about them.
There was a
instead of it's
little
just,
over 20 minutes cut out.
Well, I mean, I would like to see, and I hope
Some of the
hopefully
scenes will be on the
and
deleted
and I
scenes
wish,
will be on the DVD release.
and I wish Boone had probably more say in being able to execute some of the mutant sequences and kind of and have more, because we pretty much just got little particle effects moments until the big fight at the end. And we have mutants in the movie that have really spectacle based presentations to what they do.
yeah.
One of the coolest shots in the fight had to be when um I can't remember her name, blonde haired chick. Every time she do what?
Magic.
Every time she
Would like open that little portal.
every time she would strike the bear, like the landscape around him would
Yeah.
change to her world.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I wanted to see more of that and her utilizing that shit,
That was
because it
cool.
would be cool if, like, almost like for brief moments, like she could pull you into her shit and fuck you up there and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, and I think that this film would have been even better if we were able to get those uh sequels for it, because like they kind of go into like Cannonball's backstory a little bit. You kind of get Sunspot's backstory a little bit. You get um Wolfsbane, her
Yeah.
backstory a little bit. But you don't get Magic's backstory, and her backstory is the most interesting backstory of all of them.
Yeah.
And you don't really get anything from her.
Yeah, and she brings in one of the secondary villains of the fucking movie.
Which I thought they were pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the scene
Yeah.
where they're in the hallway and she leaves and he fucking blasts through their bodies.
Yeah,
That was
he
cool.
fucking vaporizes them.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's
he
like,
was
just fuck
like,
'em up,
dude,
dude.
he was like, do something, and she fucking disappears, and he's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, that's
But I mean, yeah, dude, like I feel like this would have benefited from one of a couple of things. TV series.
yeah.
Big time.
If they would have went ahead and released it when they did and developed the sequels, because I
And
think the sequels would have gave us a lot of the missing information that the full length didn't give us.
Well, like on the TV series, you could have had them like,
also,
we could have been in the school or wherever they were at, whatever this place is, the hospital, where they're, have the new girl come in halfway through the season. So we're learning about these people, getting all their little backstories, like the first time, because whenever a new person comes, that's when you learn everything about someone.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really get that.
Another thing too, and it's in hindsight, of course, which most shit is, I feel like now on the other side of the film, I feel like when they were doing the promotion for it throughout the years, they should have left Magic shots out of the marketing altogether.
Yeah, I agree.
Because she carried the weight of the visual aspect of the movie.
Yeah, 100%.
And I felt like that would have been more of a treat to audiences, because we were like, okay, we're going to get this, kind of toned down mutant people have powers movie, but, they're going to have them and you're going to see them, but it's going to be very toned down for most of the film. And then save the juicy bits like that for the people for when people finally get to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there were shots, because like all of Magic's shots when she was doing her abilities and whatnot, they all looked like and not just her, the same for all of the others. They felt very rooted in their comic sources. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like if I were to go searching, I could find panels that would look like that's pulled straight from it, you know?
Yeah, and yeah, 100% because like all of the a lot of the stuff that I checked into after watching the film that had to do with these characters, like they nailed the way they look, the way that they um like kind of the way they utilize their powers and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't, they did it right. It wasn't cheesy, or anything like that. It was just, I mean,
It's refreshing to know that as time has went on, the movie makers are starting to realize that, with the X-Men, with anyone that's doing any kind of fake ass power shit where they're shooting beams and stuff, don't be afraid to make that shit colorful as fuck. Don't be afraid to fucking throw some neon shit all over the place and everything. Like that's what the audiences want when we get to there's no more time for the talking's over with. Let's
yeah,
get to the booms and fun part, you know?
Yeah.
And I like that even in the New Mutants, as downplayed as it is, when you do see these moments, they still feel fresh, and it's still I'm happy that they're it's getting better at making some of this stuff look more comic rooted.
yeah. And think like this should have came out 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
they were kind of ahead of the game, like way ahead of the game, really, if you think about it, because like whenever that fighting sequence happens towards the end with Magic and the bear, like that shit was fucking amazing and beautiful at the same time. 5 years ago, like think about it, we got
Yeah, like
Endgame what, a year ago?
her whole shot where her arm forms into the sword and everything, and you know she does her whole one liner before stepping through the portal. But like that shot though, man, like of
Yeah,
her like gazing back and all that kind of like that was fucking meant. That was some mint comic book shit, you know.
yeah, yeah. Um, and speaking, like, I'll go ahead and touch on this real quick since we're talking about the miscues and what could have been. So Boone and Lee, so he wrote him. Boone and Lee wrote it, and then he directed. So Boone and Lee originally pitched the film to Ken Berg as the first in a trilogy. In October 2017, Boone said that the characters Warlock and Karma would appear in the sequels. In December, Boone and Lee revealed that they were interested in filming the first sequel in Brazil and that Sunspot's father, Emmanuel da Costa, would play a role in the franchise. Explaining his plans for the sequels, Boone said that he wanted each film in the trilogy to be a different kind of horror movie. The first film is a rubber reality supernatural horror movie. The second film would have been an alien invasion film featuring Warlock, and the third film would have been an apocalyptic horror film inspired by the 1989 comic book crossover storyline Inferno. Boone confirmed that the second film would have been set in Brazil and included Antonio Banderas as Emmanuel da Costa. Karma was to be introduced as the main villain of the sequel, but would have joined the New Mutants by the end of the film alongside Warlock. Boone added that Emmanuel da Costa's connection to the Hellfire Club would have been explored in the first sequel, and said the overall tone of that film would still have inspired would would still have been inspired by Claremont and Sinquist whatever run. Boone had wanted Sacha Baron Cohen to portray Warlock through motion capture and had discussed the role with Cohen during production on the first film. In March 2019, Disney officially acquired Fox and gained the film rights to several Marvel Comics characters for Marvel Studios, including the New Mutants. The Marvel based films that Fox had been developing were placed on hold. In March 2020, Boone stated that while it was unlikely that a sequel to the New Mutants could be made now that X-Men characters were being integrated into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he still hoped that the film would be successful enough to allow a sequel to be made. That August, Boone confirmed there were no plans to incorporate the film into the MCU. So, I mean, in reality, there could be a sequel, but um, I don't think we'll ever get that. And I think that like approaching, each film in the trilogy as its own separate horror inspired film is a genius idea. And I think Fox is really the one to blame. They kind of shit the bed on this one, guys. In my opinion, because they should have released this shit back in 2015 when it was supposed to come out, at the height of all the anticipation. Like, they shit the bed, and it sucks whenever you watch something because there were missteps and all this stuff along the way. But it's like, well, think about it though. The original cut that they were going to release back in 2015 could have been like somewhere in the ballpark of like what, an hour and 45 minutes, because they had 5 extra years to fucking cut the film. You know, they could have went back and revisited it and recut it and re-edited it. God knows how many fucking times. I'm not saying that that's what they did, but there's always a possibility.
Yeah, there's no telling
Oh.
how many cuts
Yeah,
movies. I mean, they had plenty of time.
and I think that like people kind of not recognizing that you can take a team, a superhero team, and put them in a very supernatural horror, like not normal environment, and it can still work and it can still thrive. You know what I mean? They kind of fucked it. They kind of fucked it up, in my opinion. I would have loved to have seen Warlock. I would have loved to have seen Karma. And then Antonio Banderas in there, like, and the Hellfire Club, like all this stuff would have been fucking amazing. I would have loved to have seen the alien invasion horror film that they were talking about. I would have loved to have seen, the apocalyptic horror film. Like, come on, man. Really?
They waited too long.
Yeah, they fucked up, man.
At least
And
they
then
finally
now-
put it out, though.
Well, yeah.
We
Yeah,
finally got to see it, but
yeah. You're right on
and,
that.
and what
but,
held them up? Like, what was it that,
Well, here's what I think. And I don't know if this is true or not, but this is just my own speculation. I think that they either had test audiences come in or they released this to the media or something like that. And people watched it and people didn't understand what they were watching and bitched about it. And it gave Fox cold feet. That coming off the heels of X-Men Apocalypse, because when did that come out? I think that come out. Let's see. It came out in 2016.
Yeah.
So like, they're like, fuck it, we're gonna hold out for X-Men Apocalypse to come out. We'll see how that film does. And like, X-Men Apocalypse was what it was. Like, it wasn't amazing, but it was what it was. So
Well, what's crazy is that this, like the New Mutants itself, could survive, and it could carry over into the MCU. How and how much? I mean, there would obviously have to be a lot of time brought in, but considering WandaVision is prepping for a House of M type storyline, I mean, according to Wikipedia, that's how the New Mutants get brought into the main continuity and become the new X-Men with new, the whole new team and stuff, is in the aftermath of M Day.
Yeah.
Which is when fucking Wanda flips the fuck out.
Well, I mean, think about it this way too, though. Magic's power is like she basically becomes the ruler of, what is that place fucking called? Limbo, right?
Yeah.
And in the MCU, Limbo is like an alternate reality version of the reality that they live in. So there are versions of all the characters in Limbo that exist. So it could be one of those. I mean, they could easily incorporate it. But here's what I would like for them to do. I would like for them to take the film as is, maybe release an extended cut of it or whatever, see if the actors and actresses that were involved in it would be interested in coming back and do a New Mutants esque version for like Hulu and make it horror, make it because like make it Doom Patrol without the comedy. And I don't
Yeah.
mean that I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm like, give us these weird horror stories that revolve around the New Mutants that you can play out season after season. Explore these characters, bring new characters in, have some characters exit, all this kind of stuff. But I think that something like this, like the idea of it being a horror inspired, and the idea of the um, this cast of characters in particular being not only damaged from them discovering their powers and like the horrors that happen around that, but them experiencing all this trauma during their time in this place. Now they've got Essex after them. Now they've got all this other shit going on. It's like there's more than enough fucking stuff that was introduced in the film to have that as a jumping off point for a series. And I would watch every episode, like especially if they could get that main cast back.
Yeah, because when the movie goes off, you're like, all right, now what?
Yeah, exactly.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah, and like the most logical place for them to go next would be like, well, we got to get to town, right? We've got to get to somewhere familiar. Well, none of the other characters have anybody alive, and they can't go back except for Pretty Rich Boy. Which is makes sense for the fucking sequel, which is why fucking Josh Boone was like, "We're gonna go to fucking Brazil, where he's from, because his father's still alive and they're rich. So of course, why not go there?" And that's where they should just pick it up. They leave that place, and then in the first season, they're in Brazil.
They got enough
And
money to get set up,
yeah,
kind of
and
start their own thing.
yeah, maybe you see a little flashback kind of stuff here and there explaining the events of what happened to them in the first film for new viewers. But by all means, use it as a jumping off point
Yeah,
and just go.
this should have been a TV show anyway.
So apparently, the New Mutants dropped on DVD, Blu-ray, and all other formats today.
Wow. So we fucking hit it right on the head, right?
So there's that.
I don't think it'll happen, but
Probably not.
this is just wishful thinking on my part. I love the visuals. I love the characters. I love the idea of doing an X-Men film that has nothing to do with the core X-Men. Yeah. And turning it into this like psychological horror film. I wish that me personally, I wish that they would have went a little bit more off the deep end with all this, and then not explain to you as the film progressed she was causing all this shit to happen. Because to me, if they would have cut out them watching her and like it and showing that she's causing all this
every time she goes to sleep, she's got this like high energy around her.
Yeah. And then start having the manifestations come into reality sooner as like a midpoint and like really over the top fucking with them. You know what I mean?
Did you guys know? What did y'all say? What's the corporation?
Essex?
Did you guys know it was them?
No.
I didn't know it was them until she got the email to terminate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, ruh-roh. When it said that, get rid of her, I was like, I don't think X-Men would want to do that.
Yeah.
They'd want you to help her. And then it was like, oh, that's why they're taking her blood. They need the blood.
Yeah.
They want to try to create, because that would be a great power to have. You just can't have, somebody having it that might not go along with what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would fuck shit up.
Yeah. But I mean, that was the biggest missteps. And the corporation, like being behind all this and like them taking mutants in and like pushing them and training them and to be killers and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, but like it's X-Men. So of course this shit's happening. You know what I mean? Like it's almost so cliche to X-Men that I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
It would have been even more of a mind fuck to me if we realized that she was the one that was causing all this. And then like they could have positioned it to where like they're because if I went back and did rewrites, it's like, okay, well, how about she like falls into this weird coma, right?
Oh,
And they're trying to get to her to stop it, and the bear shows up, and that's why the bear's there, not to get her, but to defend her. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like this. I don't know, but hey, I didn't write the film. I don't have any say so in it. But what can you do?
Just
I
watch.
just, yeah, I just wish that this would have came out when it was supposed to.
Yeah, because they let the anticipation just build up over years.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
So it says that the film, as of right now, has grossed $45.8 million.
I think its budget was like around 60.
That I'm not sure. Let me see, because I just Googled it.
Like between 60 and 67 to 80 million.
So let's think about it. It's been sitting in storage for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's money that you had already lost within the first year of shelving it. That Fox lost. Well, let me remind everybody that Disney did not lose this money. Fox lost this money.
Yeah.
So they're out of it. They released this during a pandemic and still made almost $50 million. I think they did pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
That's not counting digital sales. That's not counting physical sales. That's nothing. That's just box office because it comes out today. We can't calculate what they sold. So, with that being said, I think that they made more than enough money back after shelving this thing for 5 years to justify either a sequel, even if it's going to go straight to like Disney Plus or Hulu or something like that, or doing a series out of it. Because they could do, 16 episodes? 14 to 16 episodes and get both of the sequels out of that.
With the inflation calculator, that's almost 90 million.
So there, you made your money back plus 10 mil.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that it's inflated that much.
Yeah.
In 5 years.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
87.8 million.
That's fucking nuts. But yeah, man. Me personally, I really enjoyed the film. I do think that there was missteps. I do think that they missed an opportunity of releasing because, in my opinion, if they would have released this in 2015, before Marvel, this was halfway through Marvel's 10-year life cycle.
And a little closer to the X-Men hype.
Yeah. If they would have released this back then, I think it would have opened the doors to making more unique horror, like not horror films, but more unique superhero films with a different focus on how these characters interact with one another, the situations that they're placed in. Because like if you think about it, and we've compared it to Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol, the series is kind of like spot on with the tone of the with the comic, right? It's like all over the place. It's fucking crazy, like nonsensical at times, but it keeps pretty well right in that same vein. This was taking something different and putting it into a different situation, and this is what we got. So Fox fucked up. I'm glad Disney had the balls to do what fucking.
Well, they had it sitting around and they didn't have any money in it, so.
Well, thankfully
Put it out.
thankfully they came to the conclusion that money is money. There's no,
Yeah, that's like free money right there.
Yeah.
And they
So.
can also be like, we didn't make it.
Yeah.
See, it should have came out like right after, because it had those scenes from Logan.
Yeah.
And maybe because Logan came out 2017. If you put this out like after that,
Yeah.
Still, it's connected to it. You can see the corporations still doing their fucking monkey shit. Like,
Yeah. So
but no, let's wait until. Well, they never were. I don't think they were ever going to put it out.
no,
Fox wasn't going to do it.
no. So I'm giving it a star.
Yeah, I
I'm
enjoyed it.
giving it.
I
I'm
enjoyed
giving
the
it a
movie.
star.
Like, we pretty much covered everything that was wrong with it. Like, I think it would have been a better show.
Yeah,
TV
I
show would
agree.
have been perfect, dude. 10
Yeah.
episodes. Because,
Yeah.
like, we've got this little cast of characters. We got 4 people. Just think about, 5. Think about bringing in other characters and
Yeah.
all these other fucked up people out there. And it's, the
Yeah.
damaged fucking good New Mutants. Like,
Yeah.
but I did enjoy it, and I'll give it a star, too. I did enjoy it.
So the thing about this movie is I can agree with some of the decisions that were made to keep it from coming out now. And mainly because with relation to the X-Men franchise. Had this movie came out while the others were out, it would have been shoehorned in because everybody knows that these X-Men films have been just, at the end of the day, they've been a train wreck that everyone's cool with watching happen.
Yeah.
Because we're just lucky to get X-Men movies, so.
And nothing ever happens but that's the thing though, if we can evoke the kind of change that gets made to the movies now, if we could have already been doing that, like why didn't anybody bother with the X-Men films?
Yeah.
And it sucks because in all actuality, they're the first like in-universe set of films. Like they were doing it first.
Yeah.
Before the MCU, and it's just a shame what Fox did to X-Men throughout the years.
And not only that, dude, but think about the fucking climate of the world right now and how much this fucking property means to people because of they've been fucking suppressed and they've been put down because they're a minority their entire life. Like that.
Yeah, it's
and-
a franchise that the current climate could absolutely, like it could be more social commentary than any other kind of film.
Yes, exactly.
With the right revolutionary behind the lens, they could make X-Men movies, they could make a whole reason for a second universe of superheroes with its own trajectory and everything and still be right alongside the MCU. But you can go into territory that most people don't want in the other hero films.
Yeah.
They, the classic twirling mustache gonna blow up the earth. No, the fucking purple skin gonna kill the universe. That type of stuff. Let that be where the AAA goes, and bring the X-Men in occasionally. But then when we get intimate with the X-Men movies and have the standalones and stuff, go, really drive in all the messages because that's what the X-Men was a platform for.
Yeah, exactly.
But with all that being said, I really think that it had COVID had to happen for this movie to get the exposure that it got.
Yeah.
It was able to be released in a sterile environment. I don't know if you want to call that a pun or not. But
yeah.
it was released, and so it had a good dose of spotlight on it.
Yeah.
I still think I think in the world of the superhero genre, it's gonna be forgotten. I think that's gonna be, there might be the occasional people that'll go, "Hey, you remember the New Mutants?" And they're like, "Yeah, whatever." But I think if it can attain a cult status in some shape, it's gonna be through the horror community.
Yeah.
So I think that gives the New Mutants a 50-50 shot. But what I liked about the movie and what I didn't like is so cut down the middle that like I feel like the only thing I can do is just give it a half star, man. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I liked it. Like
I understand.
When you put this movie on the shelf with the rest of the X-Men movies, it comes right after Logan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you're
Yeah.
organizing
yeah.
your collection, you got to stick this between Logan and what was it, Dark Phoenix that came out after that? You got to stick it right there.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna organize our shelf by timeline, man, it'd be the last two films to the right.
So Logan and then this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or this one in Logan.
Well, I mean,
you
yeah.
could do that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to, if we treat the New Mutants where all we know is that the X-Men do exist, Xavier does have the school, but they still don't give us a time frame at what point in the X-Men saga this is going on in.
If they dropped this after Logan, it would have done better.
Yeah.
Because you remember that Logan hype, dude, was, and that's
Yeah.
probably what hurt
I
it,
was-
man. After Logan,
I
they
was-
were like, "Oh, we can't."
Well, I was reading some, and I think y'all brought it up earlier. Like, and I'd read over it again over the wiki where it was like, they for some reason they amped up, because of amping up their trailer as a horror film, they went away from the young adult movie.
Yeah.
And I think that hurt it too. Because even though it has horror elements, it's still not, it doesn't become full blown horror
Nah.
film until like the last 30-40 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, they should have
And even using the word horror would still be sparingly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. But they could have played that up. I mean, because the film got PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
So like this is the perfect like high school, junior high kid date movie. Because
Yeah.
you get a little scary for her, you get a little superhero for him. You know what I mean?
A little happy ending for everybody, you know.
Yeah, even after the movie, am I right? But I mean, so many missteps, man. And I really did enjoy it because of like just the idea of it being something different. And especially now after we've had like Thanos and like all that crazy shit happening.
But I
It's
mean, but with properties like Doom Patrol, like Umbrella Academy,
Yeah.
all these other different properties that are out that deal with the same subject matter. A group of teens, they don't know how to control their abilities. We watch how it plays out, and it's the idea that like this is a multi-million-dollar movie that got made, and it just by the sheer like sliding into home base sloppily where you don't execute a slide, you more like tumble and roll over the home plate.
Yeah.
See, if had this came out when it was supposed to, this would have been before Doom Patrol, Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Now that we've seen that, we're like, that's a good template for that kind of shit. Like,
It is, and
it's
it
a really
could,
even Umbrella Academy,
had
good
it-
template. Like,
had it came out what it did though, would it have been overshadowed by us picking it apart in terms of the X-Men though?
probably.
I mean, I feel like this movie just doesn't have luck on its side. It just really didn't. But but like you to add what you're saying, I mean, I'm glad we got it.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't sit on the shelf because it didn't deserve it. It was good enough to not be discarded,
be out there.
Absolutely. I mean, and to add to what Griff said with it being something different outside of the X-Men, I mean, that in and of itself is good too because you got to think they're like every day a new fucking comic movie fan probably is made. Someone's probably sitting down right now and watching X-Men for the first time. Yeah. Some young couple is probably taking their first dive down all of this shit. So I'm sure this will be a breath of fresh air if they're halfway through the X-Men and they're like, let's watch this. Like these are different characters. Let's see what they're about.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Disney does with it.
Yeah.
Now that they got a hold of it, and they may touch on this later on. They may, do it like a TV series with it, and
Well, I would see it
put it
just
on their streaming
because
service.
Claremont he's contributed so much to comics his property will absolutely be a little ahead of others. And I think because of that, naturally, second and third attempts at adapting his material will obviously take precedent too. So yeah, I feel like we'll get another iteration of the New Mutants, if not in sequel, in some shape or form. They're gonna show up just because they have to.
Yeah.
At the trajectory that we're going with Disney and everything, like yeah, they're gonna come back.
Yeah. I'm cool with it. And they have some very interesting characters and some very interesting powers going on there that just, you know, makes it fun to watch. It would have been cool to see Warlock, man. And have you ever seen Warlock before, Adam?
I don't think so.
Hold on. I'm gonna drop a picture in here.
All right.
And tell me that seeing this fucking weird motherfucker on the screen wouldn't have been fucking awesome.
Isn't he like a robot?
Yeah, like
Is he a part of the New Mutant stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's one of like the core members of the New Mutants.
They would have had their Cliff.
Yeah,
Or they're Groot.
yeah. I mean, look, he looks fucking nuts, right?
Yeah. Disney's gonna do something with it.
Oh, yeah.
James Gunn will get a hold of this. And
Now
do
that
something.
they
You know, or
own
at
the
least that's what we
rights,
hope for.
and y'all seen the chatter online where they're like, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver have probably been mutants this whole time. Now
Yeah.
they can go that route. Like,
Yeah.
I think they will. I mean, that's how how you gonna one up Endgame? Like, you gotta you bringing in some more players, baby. Traffic, baby, little traffic.
Well, if there's anything that can be said about Captain Marvel, it's the contribution of the Skrulls.
Yeah.
Because of that, like you can it's its own. It has its own backbone to fall on now because just watching that, even though there could be another 10, 20 fucking movies, and that never gets brought up again. The fact that it's there, it's continuity that you can't trust who the fuck you're watching in any of these movies going forward.
Yeah.
And at some point, someone's going to show up and end up being a Skrull, and it's going to pop off Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Or Secret Invasion, whatever. One of the two. I can't remember.
Well, 2.5 stars. I'm glad it finally got released, guys. Like this was like the movie that we talked about. Like this has been going on for a long time, and we've talked about the Snyder Cut and Justice League and all this stuff, but that ain't got shit on New Mutants for us. You know what I mean?
No.
So we finally got it out. We finally got it watched, and we are
in the books.
It's in the books, guys.
We will never update about this movie ever again. Finally, it won't make it into movie news unless the sequels and whatnot. But as far as Josh Boone's fucking The New Mutants, it's over.
So, congratulations, listeners. You made it with us.
5-year journey.
I mean? Yeah,
if
for
you're
real.
still listening, considering joining our Patreon.
Yeah.
No,
join our OnlyFans because I'm posting nudes on the reg.
Yeah.
All right, so Mandalorian, guys.
Oh shit.
We had a little bit of a short episode this week, but a lot of shit happened.
Oh man.
His ship is fucked. He landed that bitch in the ocean,
So before we get into the meat and potatoes, I just want to stress right now that this episode's come and gone, if you haven't, if you're a late bloomer like I am with this shit, watch Clone Wars. If anyone's listening, watch Clone Wars. It makes The Mandalorian far more enjoyable than it already is. But yeah, anyway, because a lot of this episode pulled from Clone Wars.
Right. So anyway, he gets old frog chick to her planet,
Mm-hmm.
and she meets up with her feller, and he's fixing to go fertilize them eggs, if you know what I'm saying.
Got a lot of Disney characters walking around on this planet.
Yeah, we had some
Little Pirates
cameos
of the
from Pirates
Caribbean planet.
Yeah, for real, right? So anyway, they give him the info about the Mandalorians and all this kind of shit, and they're like, "We got a guy that knows about the Mandalorians, and this dude looks just like the rest of. Like I can't tell them apart. You know, like when they're all sitting in the bar eating, I'm just like, this dude looks the same as this dude that looks. So how do you know if
Yeah.
you talk to the right one? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
But anyway, um, they're like, yeah, we'll take you on the fucking what's that show? Um, where they're out there catching fucking
Deadliest
crabs.
catch.
Yeah, they go out on the deadliest catch boat that has a fucking whatever it is on the boat, a sarlacc, a baby sarlacc or some shit is on the boat.
So they wanted his armor, right?
Yeah, they wanted.
So,
Yeah,
so also when he landed, I think I would like to think that this was a callback to the very first episode of the show. We got to see just how useless calamari flan as a currency is.
yeah, for real, right?
I remember he scoffed at it when he was getting paid in that at first, and whenever he hands it to the guy, and he's just like, "Get it running again," and he's like, "Nah, I'll refuel it."
Yeah, I'll do what I can. Then he shows up at the end and he's like, "This is the best that you could do," and he's like, "Bitch." You gave me
Strings for rope and strings for days. You could see inside that motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, there's no way I'd find that shit. But when you're a Mandalorian, you got to do what a Mandalorian does. You know
Well,
what
I
I'm saying?
mean, you gotta, you gotta whip a shitty in that atmosphere and come in clutch like he did. He told old frog lady, "You gonna hold this down the whole fucking time. Don't let go."
Yeah. I thought she was going to look back and Yoda was going to be in the cookie jar. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I was like,
People are
"Oh
like,
fuck."
I'm never watching it again.
Yeah, right. But anyway, they show up. They take him out there on the boat. They try to kill him. They knock Baby Yoda into that damn
Bastards.
Water starlight pit.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that thing was. And then these other
Call it a snar
Mandalorians.
snatch.
He kicked that baby Yoda like he's closing a door, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And but yeah, so Mandalorians show up. There's 3 of them, and they like make short work of these
Clean house, dude.
these Pirates of the Caribbean extras. We
oh,
have.
I
Yeah.
mean, they go squad.
These paid
I mean, if that
actors.
like around a rogue company.
Yeah, for real, right? And they're like, we'll give you the information if
Of course, we need
Well, hold
help.
up though. But remember, when we get our refresher bit at the beginning of the episode, we get back to the armor where she's like, "Hey, you ain't took your fucking helmet off, have you? Like, you ain't
Yeah.
been seen without your shit, right?"
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, whenever he's like, "Thank you," they take the helmet off, and as a watcher,
He
I
did
was
a
like,
double take.
"Uh-oh," like,
He's like,
this
give me
isn't
the
gonna
armor.
end
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give me the armor,
This is
bitch.
not the way.
Mm-mm.
but
So
yeah,
what I understand, right, is that there's 2 sects
Old
and not
code,
like
new code.
yeah. And Mando proper is following the old way, right?
Mhm.
And the triple Mando threat, like she's the rightful heir of the Mandalorian or Mandalore fucking City Hall or whatever the fuck it is.
yeah.
And she's like, we're changing shit. Like, you go along with that old fucking old man shit. This is the new way, bitch.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed when the squad rolled in, I was like, chick looks familiar. Her helmet that looks uniquely different from the other ones, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's in Clone Wars. She's the daughter of Duchess Satine, who is the when I'm trying to keep it as
So
from
she
getting
is
too
royalty.
straight. Yes,
Okay.
she's the daughter of the at one point the Queen of Mandalore.
Okay.
Okay. Heard it.
And so by getting that
So
saber,
that part's true.
she's kind of on a reclaim the throne story
Mhm.
at this point, where we catch up with her in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But
He's Khaleesi,
so
dude.
so there's a point where they say that uh that because of him showing that he's still rooted in the old way, she says you're a child of the Watch.
The Night's
To
Watch?
Yeah. That's what I was
the
thinking.
Death Watch.
Oh,
They're
that's
the
even more
They're the
badass.
motherfuckers that save him and make him a foundling at the
Yeah.
beginning of the show.
Right, right.
The Death Watch at some point gets commanded by Darth Maul. Which ties into some news. I know I'm kind of doing some mental gymnastics here, but there was an article that got released about a week ago where another one of this is George Lucas's plans, and it made sense after I wrote it off at first. I was like, this is just another bullshit, you know. But apparently, another possible thing that could have been the sequel of the Star Wars saga is that Darth Maul would have returned in some capacity.
Right.
Now, granted, his fate is explained in the Clone Wars, so I know there's some inconsistencies there. But apparently, he was going to reprise and be the big bad of the sequel trilogy, or one iteration of the many iterations that we've heard at this point.
Right.
What gave it some what gave it some weight, though, was the fact that would have explained why Darth Maul showed up at the end of Solo.
Yeah.
So I mean, take that for what it is, but yeah, but it's getting heavily ingrained, and when they tell him that he has to go see Ahsoka Tano, that is the main hero character of Clone Wars. So it's a complete crossover going on here.
Right.
But
Which is it's awesome that they're,
yeah, and
they're going that far with it.
oh, absolutely. And so, I just thought it was cool how that all got thrown in the viewer's face very fucking quick,
Yeah.
And
Well,
but yeah, that was just a little tidbit backstory, a little more deeper dive for the squad at least.
right. So after their plan is to hijack this like old or new empire, whatever the fuck you want to call them, the Middle Empire. That's what I'm gonna call them. They're gonna hijack their ship that's got all these weapons and stuff on it. Right?
Big delivery.
And apparently they've been doing this shit for some time because they're like they recognize that the threat is there and that it's happening again because of the conversation that happens between Gustavo and old ship captain. So, with that being said, they show up and show out. I mean, Mando's taking fucking bullets left and right for the cause, dude. Like it's beautiful what he was doing out there,
Oh yeah, did you guys think at the same around the same time while that sequence was playing out, where you guys were like, his Beskar has been on screen explained that it can withstand blaster and lightsaber shit? Did you guys have that moment where you were like, why don't he just fucking go into the fray? And then he did, and you were like, okay,
It's like, get behind me.
Yeah.
Well, and then my question is like, is having that particular type of armor only for the what'd you call them? The Death Guard?
The Death Watch.
The Death Watch? Is that something like because they were afraid to get shot? You would think that if you got 4 Mandalorians showing up and they've all got this very specific type of armor going on that can withstand like the worst fucking sharpshooters in the history of the fucking known universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's some hard to get shit.
If there's more to that, I haven't gotten to it
You
yet.
gotta do a lot of side quests to get that armor.
But to my knowledge, I think they're still just riding on the idea that Beskar is still just it's in a very its scarcity is very very
That's
high.
why everybody wants it.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
I mean, whenever he walks into a room, the whole room looks at him like, let's fuck this dude up, take his shit. You know?
So,
Every room
we're
he
gonna
walks
roll-
in, everybody looks at him
Yeah.
like,
We're gonna roll him in the parking lot here
because
in a
dude,
minute.
if you got that, you're like, nobody can fuck on you.
He rolls in and everyone's like, "Look who bought the battle pass."
Yeah, yeah, for real.
You know,
With a tear skip.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
they're
got it
already
before
they're already
everybody.
maxed out day 3. You know,
Yeah. But anyway, they kind of change plans on him. They're like gonna steal the shit and get off the ship, and then they get on there and they're like, "No, we're taking the whole fucking thing." It's like, that's not part of the deal. And they're like, "It is now, bitch. You're
They're
already
always
here."
doing this shit to him. Everybody.
they're all they're he's like, "This isn't the way," and they're like, "Well, the way's got bends in it, dog."
Yeah. So this ain't a fucking highway. This is a fucking Langston Gap up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking D-way.
Yeah.
But every time he gets set on a mission, because let's
Yeah.
face it, every episode, I need
He's the
help.
most
They're like, well, we need
honest-
help too. And he's like,
He's the most honest bounty hunter in existence at this point.
Yeah. But I like how they flirt that line too of like he's no nonsense when he needs to be and like fucking on people when he needs to be, but he also realizes like I have to do extra special bullshit for people to get the information or to get what I need that I may not normally do. You know what I'm saying? Cuz like we've seen him be straight up ruthless from
Like
time to time.
the reluctant pusher.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, so he's leaving to go find Asaka. Is that her name?
I believe it's pronounced Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. And
Right.
she's a Jedi, right? And
Mm-hmm.
this is the way. So I wonder how many episodes do you think that it'll take for us to get that to happen?
he's gonna have to help
Hell-
like 6 more people.
Well, either that or at the rate this season's been, that was only episode 3.
Yeah.
He killed a dragon worm, a fucking
I say
space spider, took
I say
over a ship.
if it's not the very next episode, it's the one immediately after, man.
It's
like
it's gonna be after the episode where he helps him take over a planet, because it's like he's got to do something, and it
stop
just
it.
keeps upping it every time. They're like,
he has to stop a robot that invariably leads him to the Empire,
they're
and
like-
then he's got to like get away from them.
we need your
Well, he's
help
gotta get the-
delivering this package behind enemy lines, and as soon as they get there, like, we're taking over. And he's like, what?
Well, he's got to get the Razor Crest up and running.
Getting too old for
Yeah.
this shit.
Okay, another question that I've kind of I've hit Adam up the other night about the how do you think that Boba Fett, his backpacks got jets, is going to factor in? Is there going to be a war between the old and the new when it comes to the Mandalorians? And where do you think Boba Fett weighs in on this, if he even is? Because like a civil war could happen, right?
Mhm.
Between the old way and the new way. And since she's supposedly the rightful heir, but their planet has been like almost fucking destroyed, it sounds like. It's been fucked up. So
and that's
it's
why
like,
they're still in these ships, right, for the war to take it back.
yeah, yeah.
It would be cool if Boba Fett somehow became the unifier instead of Mando. Like that's going to be Boba Fett's contribution
He's gonna
to
bring
the
them all
lore.
together.
Well, that
Like
was what
him and Mando will work together.
yeah.
But whenever the person that's got to stay behind and be like, man, I still got to keep working on the people, it's gonna be Boba. That way he
Yeah.
can fuck off and it can stay about fucking Mando.
Right. Well, and that's kind of what I brought up as well. It's like, if they bring Boba Fett and let's say that he is, he's going to kind of be this character that is going to be less is more and do less, as a character, then that would be kind of the perfect position for him to be in. That way that he still exists within the universe
Well,
and he's always there for backup.
well, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he if we are to believe that he's the mysterious person from season 1 that was pursuing Mando, that means he's after the bounty that the Empire's put on Mando's head.
Right.
So how is that going to resolve
Well,
itself?
because he's like following him all. He's going to all these places
Yeah,
and
like
watching him help.
yeah,
And he's
it's
watching
not
him be
gonna
a good
be.
guy. Like he's
It's not going to be a case of they just back up into one another and like, oh, you.
Yeah.
Like Boba Fett's going to roll up on Mando at some point and either try to take him out or be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Or he's like, give me the fucking child, and it's like, why? Because I know exactly who to fucking take it to.
Yeah.
Mando won't do it.
No.
He's
like,
got to
"We're
be
going-
there when the kid's delivered, and he's got to
Where's your
make sure it's
shit?"
the right people.
Yeah. So
Like, will he abandon the way?
I don't think
I
he's
don't
gonna take his helmet
eventually.
off.
no. I think that it's going to be one of those
It's
situations like
ingrained in him, dude.
well, and if they do this whole Civil War thing, I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like, look, let whoever is a Mandalorian, or like maybe it goes the other way. If you are born as if you're born from that race, then you can freely take it on and off. But if you are, brought into it, then you have to leave your helmet on to not disrespect that
But
race.
we can work together.
Yeah,
We're all
something like that.
Mandalorian.
Well,
Yeah.
what I do know is that when they if they cut to an inevitable moment where they're on Mandalore and shit's popping off, it's got to be fucking crazy. It's got to look insane because as far as the canon goes, Mandalore was so fucking hostile. The Empire just gave up trying to control it.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Like I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
There's another little tidbit of Mandalorian news.
Let's hear
I
it.
don't know if y'all want to touch on it. What was the chick? You remember the chick in the first season that helped him out?
Oh,
The other like bounty hunter kind of chick?
Oh, the
Yeah.
ex-stormtrooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she put something
Gina
on.
Carano?
She put former. Did y'all know she was an MMA fighter? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
I didn't know that.
Look at
They would say that about her when they were doing press for
Never saw it.
season 1.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
I'll let
she
her
put
kick
something
my
on Twitter talking about wearing masks and stuff. It was leaning a little right. The internet wants her removed from the show.
Wow.
They want her taken off the show. And then here's what sucks, dude. Our Mando guy, he was on there fanning the flames, dude.
Really?
He was on there kind of fanning the flames a little. Well, the internet started blowing up about it, and he was like, well, like he just let everybody know that he wasn't with that. He was, probably just trying to save his own ass. But so many people when you go look at the tweet, it's still up. So many people are on the comments are like, I can't be with you on this one. You're gone. We gotta. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And
Well,
look, dude, it's not like there's some shit you can go online and say, and it's like, okay, that's extreme.
Yeah.
This isn't one of them.
What's funny is that's nothing but words and an opinion.
Yeah. So you're going, you want someone fired.
She's probably going, like, I guarantee you she probably puts that fucking face mask on like every goddamn other person that's doing it or choosing not to. And at the end of the day, it's your choice, dude.
To be
it's
fair,
not mandatory. It's just a choice.
Here's the tweet.
And you gotta live with some of the choices that others make too.
She tweeted this out. They're gonna let me share it. Okay, I'll do the link. Here you go. Click that. Well, you can see it. That's what she put on her Twitter. To be fair,
she's not wrong.
You know what she's pointing at.
Yeah.
Well,
it is week fucking 3 of the fucking real estate election coverage,
And there's a lot of people in the comments just shitting on her, dude.
A
lot of copes. I guess it's not freedom of speech anymore, right?
No.
Well, it's not freedom of opinion anymore.
Oh,
Whether at the end of the day you're wrong or right, it's right news, it's wrong news. At the end of the day, if you're getting your news and your facts from a celebrity, something else is already wrong with you.
and it's because
It's
she has a voice and
yeah.
she's on a popular show and she has a lot of followers and people are like, I can't believe you would spread this nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how she feels. Follow, you know?
Yeah, same. I follow.
I just thought that was funny, dude, that they want her taken off the show, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, she hasn't even, we haven't seen her since the first season, so.
I mean, it's not like she's sitting there trying to throw facts at people. She was obviously making an opinion with a bit of humor, and the people that she was, making the joke on didn't like it.
Yeah. So fuck them.
Oh,
That's
she does show back up. So the last episode we saw her in was chapter 8.
Yeah.
On here it says she's going to be in chapter 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So she's about to show up. See, there's something's about to happen.
Yeah. And it's going to
There's going to be a gathering.
Fucking amazing. Yeah.
But I just thought that was, that happened through the week. You remember the other night Corey told us about it. We're like, what?
Yeah.
They're trying to do what?
Yeah, of course
Get
they
someone
are.
fired.
Yeah, for having an opinion. Not fire a fucking man beater. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Mandalorian 3 stars, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
Mandalorian for life, dude.
I do have some movie news though.
Yeah.
All right, so Keanu Reeves. He said Constantine 2 is happening.
Uh-huh.
Now, we haven't done Constantine on the podcast, and I want to do Constantine on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy, even though it doesn't follow Hellblazer to a fucking T, because he's not a fucking blonde-headed British guy and it's Keanu Reeves, like, I still enjoy the film for what it is. It came out in that weird, like, before time. And when I mean before time, before fucking the Marvel takeover happened,
Mm-hmm.
So it was in the before time.
Back when the biggest names were Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. So that article comes out, and then I'll skim it real quick. It says rumors of a sequel to the Reeves version have swirled for years, but they seem to be squashed when it was announced J.J. Abrams was producing a reboot at Warner Brothers. Despite this, Reeves and director Francis Lawrence, who went on the helm a number of the Hunger Games movies, hinted that if a sequel were to ever be greenlit, they'd both be keen on returning to make it. Now Stormare has seemingly confirmed Constantine 2 is in fact happening. He has posted an image of himself as Lucifer and Constantine on Instagram with the accompanying caption sequel in the works. Stormare is the first person directly involved to confirm plans for a sequel, and hopefully his post is correct. Though it would be strange if the actor was posting without having at least been contacted to reprise his role. You can see the Instagram announcement below. So that comes out. We get that news. And this news was 4 days ago. That's when it was released. Then we get another titty bit. Oh, this is 8 months ago. Why the fuck did this pop up? So anyway, they were talking about doing a Justice League Dark live action. Guillermo del Toro was talking about doing it. And I'm guessing this has to do with that. So this is 8 months ago. I don't know why it popped up. But
was
anyway,
it on the same site?
No.
Oh.
One of them screened
Sometimes they'll connect them.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. But if they decide, because they did the Constantine series, which I really enjoyed, but Constantine is going to be a hard character for them to like do a live action version of regardless because of how, like, not really over the top, but more like how occulty it gets, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's going to be hard for that to be pinned down, but if they're interested, like legit interested in bringing Keanu Reeves back to play that character, I would be perfectly fine with that. And
Yeah.
I do want to do Constantine on the podcast at some
Oh yeah.
point. So,
But before we get too far away from Justice League, did y'all see where they said the Joker was going to look different?
I
Leto's
did.
playing the Joker,
right.
right? They said his appearance is going to be different than it was before.
Did they say how?
Let's see. They don't.
Okay. I'm cool with that though.
Like he's gonna it's the same. He's gonna look just a little different, not exactly the same. It's the same guy.
Yeah.
They just said his appearance is gonna be a little different. So it's cool that he's coming back though.
Right.
He'll get his chance to actually play the Joker. Like,
well, they also, speaking of Justice League, the Justice League trilogy not happening as Zack Snyder shoots down sequel rumors. So this was posted today, and it says that Zack Snyder's hard at work completing the long-awaited Snyder Cut. The feature will be released as a 4-hour special on HBO Max next year. Snyder fans know the filmmaker's original intention had been to make Justice League as a trilogy, and many are wondering if Snyder's Justice League will also be a 3-movie series. In an interview with Ping Pong Flicks, wow, Snyder gave his own perspective on possible sequels. He says, I don't have any expectation that there would be more movies than this. If that happened, that would be amazing, but that bridge is far away. Frankly, I'm cool. So for the moment, at least, Snyder does not seem to be thinking beyond the upcoming Zack Snyder's Justice League to any sequels. In a past interview, Snyder had hinted that the upcoming film will end at the point where the main villain Darkseid comes to Earth, thus setting up for sequels. He said it's a fair question to ask me, like what do I say to the world about, what happens when Darkseid comes to Earth? Then what? Is that a thing? And I think, listen, the truth is that did I it's like fucking trying to quote Tarantino over here. And I think, listen, the truth is
okay,
that did I write and did I have and conceive and complete? Do I know what happens when Darkseid? Yes, I do know what happens. To say and to speculate about what that is and that would be exciting, I think that's a fine thing. Okay, so that fucking quote is all over the fucking place.
real quote.
It is. It's a fair question to ask me, like what do I say to the world about, what happens when Darkseid comes to Earth? Then what? Is that a thing? And I think, listen, the truth is that it's like what the
My
fuck?
nose is bleeding just listening to you.
He's like, how
Well,
much?
it sounds like he wants to spoil it, but not.
Yeah, yeah,
And then like here's probably what he's doing too. It's like, look, guys, depending on how this does,
yeah,
I think it's gonna make a shit ton of money.
yeah,
It's gonna get a lot of views.
yeah,
And if so, then hey, you never know.
yeah,
He's just letting you know. If the views are
yeah,
good, dude, if this thing's like 100% across the board on everything,
yeah,
and they just make us just an ungodly amount of money where they're like, oh my God, like
yeah,
this didn't come out, this came on a streaming service and it made like Marvel movie money,
yeah,
then why wouldn't they?
yeah, exactly. That's why we got to do it, for the vine.
Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Oh, it's already happening.
It's happening, dude.
That feels
So
like
we
a
got,
dream.
yeah, it
It
does,
ain't real
right?
until it happens, dude.
No. It'll be soon though. I think it's going to be what, March or April
around the
of
beginning of
next
the
year.
year sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it. Hopefully by that point, coronavirus is over and we actually have someone announced as
I don't know,
president.
dude. I'm hearing, depending on who's elected at the beginning of the year, there may be a 6-week mandatory lockdown. And I'm not talking, we're talking curfew, mandatory. Government's going to borrow money from banks to pay you when you can't go to work. Like,
Oh, how's
Yeah.
that going to work? Am I going to have to pay them back?
no, we'll have to pay back. But
I mean, taxes?
yeah,
Is that what we're talking about?
we'll see.
Anyway.
That's a different podcast.
Well,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be that would that would be the perfect time. Look, I said it before, guys. If they do a mandatory shutdown, we got to do a podcast every day. Could we handle that?
I could.
I won't be shut
I
down
mean, I don't know,
unless
dude.
unless they do like a full
They're
country
talking, dude. They're talking mandatory, and they said a real lockdown because the one we had before was not a real one, and that's why it continued to spread.
Well,
They're
I don't
talking
think
like everything.
so. By this logic, if we hide from the virus for 6 weeks, it's going to disappear.
No,
So why the fuck would we do that?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm not running the country, dude. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
I'd vote for you. Bruce Campbell's got a new film
I'd vote for Bruce Campbell.
in a fucking heartbeat.
I don't even
right?
know what this film's about, and I already want to see it.
It's called Black Friday.
So are
And
they
it's
going
got-
shopping?
Well, we'll see because I haven't read it yet.
All right.
But it's Bruce Campbell, Devin Sawa,
Okay.
and Michael J. White
All right.
to battle an alien parasite.
I'm in.
Bruce Campbell has found his next horror project. According to a new report, Campbell has begun shooting in Boston for the upcoming movie holiday thriller Black Friday, joining Devin Sawa and Michael J. White in the cast. Also set to appear in the movie are Ivana Baquero, Ryan Lee, and Stephen Peck. Casey Tebow directs using a screenplay by Andy Guskafica? I don't know. As the title suggests, the movie is set on Black Friday, a date long known as the busiest shopping day of the year. Bruce Campbell, Sawa, and White will star as a group of disgruntled toy store employees who have to defend themselves from legions of holiday shoppers when a mysterious alien parasite sends them on a murderous rampage. As the king of B movies and a legend of the horror genre, a movie about mind-controlled zombies attacking a toy store perfectly fits in with Campbell's body of work. Of course, then they go into who Bruce Campbell is, and then who Devin Sawa is, and Michael J. White. But yeah, that's what we have to look forward to, guys. Bruce Campbell, Michael J. White.
If Tarantino is going to stop making movies at 10, right? He's got to put Bruce in a movie, dude.
He's got to, right?
He's got to put Bruce in a movie.
I think Bruce
Starting a
could
petition.
I think Bruce would be that perfect fill-in for Michael Parks.
Oh yeah,
Because
He could do it.
Michael Parks passed, and I think that Low and Slow. I think Campbell could handle Low and
Oh,
Slow
yeah.
all day. Dude, I would love that. And you know that fucking Tarantino's a fucking fan.
Oh yeah.
I mean, who's
How
not?
could you not be?
I think fucking Kevin Smith is going to put him in Mallrats, right?
Yep.
So I mean,
He
dude,
already agreed.
I mean, I'm sure that he would be honored. I mean, let's think about this realistically for a second. So Tarantino was the master of bringing like older, washed-up actors back,
Mhm.
right? Well, I'm not saying that Bruce
Yeah, yeah.
Campbell is
No.
washed up, But what I'm saying though is he got performances out of people that you never thought you would get performances out of. Like, look at Pulp Fiction and what he was able to do with fucking, um,
Sweet.
yeah, exactly. You know, and you can go on down the line and
So
just
many
look at,
actors, dude.
yeah, fucking David Carradine, fucking Kung Fu.
So
Like,
many actors.
yeah, I would love to see Bruce Campbell be like, dude, it would be a fucking dream come true. I'm ready to start a petition. The fuck Sony petition did not go well.
Well, in Django, Big Daddy,
Yeah. Oh my
he
God.
brought that
Don
guy back.
Johnson?
Oh my god, dude! Like,
Yeah. Nash Bridges?
yeah,
I mean, come on.
fucking what was that? Miami Vice? What was
Miami,
that?
yeah.
That was the show he was on.
Yeah. I mean,
But
come
yeah,
on.
this next
So,
article looks fucking hilarious.
Home Alone director calls Ryan Reynolds stoned alone an insult to cinematic art. Because if Home Alone is anything, it's fucking cinematic art, guys.
Yeah, but it's also like a kids movie, and this
Yeah.
won't be.
There are a few
This is
Christmas
going to be
movies.
rated R.
I mean, it might be rated X.
I think that's a hilarious idea,
Well,
and it's got Ryan Reynolds, dude.
there's a quote here from the fucking director. It says there are few Christmas movies as beloved as the 1990 comedy Home Alone starring Macaulay Culkin. Naturally, Hollywood has tried to profit off the movie in various ways ever since. Ryan Reynolds is attached as producer to a movie titled Stoned Alone, which is described as a spiritual successor to Home Alone. Filmmaker Chris Columbus, who directed the original 1990 movie, explained why he finds the concept of stoned alone insulting. Now, this
Okay.
is his quote. The reboots are just silly to me. Let's keep in mind,
Okay.
guys, that Disney Plus is rebooting Home Alone. Okay.
Let's keep
So-
in mind that this dude's going to produce Gremlins 3. Let's keep that in mind.
The reboots are just silly to me. When I read about something called Stoned Alone, they were going to do with Ryan, it was an R-rated Home Alone movie about stoners. I thought to myself, this is just an insult to the art of cinema. If you're making a comedy, a musical, no matter what film I'm making, my goal is to treat it with the same respect as if I was making The Godfather. Home Alone is not The Godfather, but you have to treat it with that kind of respect. And this idea of remaking things that already exists and are working well, watch the original. Forget about it. It's just never going to be as good.
All right. So this guy directed Mrs. Doubtfire, Stepmom. He's done some good movies. Home Alone's a good movie. I mean, come on, you know.
Yeah.
But he also went on to do Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
Pixels.
Yeah.
There was something else he produced. Five Nights at Freddy's. He's making that movie because that's what we need. It's an insult to the art of cinema. So any parody movie that's ever been made,
yeah,
and there's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's its
an
own
insult.
genre.
So like Austin Powers is an insult.
Yeah, Hot Shots, insult. Scary Movie, insult.
Airplane.
Dude, that's the biggest insult.
Would he say that about these? He's just pissed because they're making. Fuck him, dude. Nobody knows. And his name is Chris Columbus.
Yeah, change it
dude.
right now. You know, fucking change your name. And dude, like, it's fucking Home Alone. The only way that this could get any better, in my opinion, is if you hire Macaulay Culkin to be in the film with Ryan Reynolds.
He might be in it.
Which
dude, that would be so great. Because you know how he is now. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, they get him. That may be what's happening here.
Dude, and I'll be the first to admit it, guys. Modern Macaulay Culkin is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. His podcast is funny. He's funny.
Yeah, he is fucking hilarious.
Him coming back to do a spoof where he's stoned alone.
Yeah,
being
with
all
Ryan.
paranoid, and
Yeah,
that would be perfect, dude.
yeah.
And that's
it
why
would be
this guy's
amazing.
pissed. He's like, "You're ruining cinematic history."
Yeah,
Like, calm the fuck down, dude.
yeah. So I mean, it's kind of a joke, right?
Yeah,
Because Home Alone in and of itself is a parody, is it not?
yeah.
All right, you're at home, you're alone,
Mm-hmm.
you're not supposed to be there, you're a child, you've got robbers.
Yeah, everything that can goes wrong goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
exactly.
and not only did it happen one time, it happened
Yeah,
again.
in fucking New York, and Trump was there and still couldn't stop it
Yeah,
from happening.
and it happened again.
Yeah,
Remember when they
I
brought the
mean,
other kid in?
yeah,
That was a remake, wasn't it?
yeah,
Completely different kid. Remember, I Get Knocked Down was the trailer music.
yeah, yeah,
Never saw
yeah.
the movie, but
No,
I remember the trailer because it had that song in it.
yeah,
And I'm like, they're making a Home Alone movie? You
yeah.
can't do that.
So I mean,
Fuck
dude,
this
this
guy.
guy, he's off his
He's a
fucking
cooter.
rocker. Yeah, he he is the cooter of the
If
week.
you
The
look
real
up
estate
Cooter,
cooter.
dude, his picture's right there next to it.
I don't even want to see what he looks like.
I looked at him.
I don't even want to see it
He looks like a
because
cooter.
Stoned Alone is a genius fucking idea.
Yeah. Like why?
Because
Like the fact that it hasn't happened yet.
yeah, exactly. And then you get fucking you get one of the funniest men working today involved. And then if they have balls, they'll bring
Well,
Macaulay
on there
Culkin
it says that he's producing it, right?
in. Right.
He's attached as a producer, so I think that, and that may be how, because they're like it's connected to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Like
much a reboot. And how can they
sequel?
do that? They bring in Macaulay Culkin,
Dude.
dude. He's 40 years old now.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And he
So
comes
30 years
in to
later?
play Stoned Alone.
Yeah.
That movie's gonna bank.
Yeah. Because think of the fucking audience from 19
Everybody
fucking
that grew up
90.
on that, we're all old enough to see this movie. Like,
Yeah, we're all old enough to
Ryan
smoke
Reynolds,
weed.
he's the cat. He is in the cast. So,
Yeah.
well,
Well, you know
if they
that
could at least get him to do a parody,
well, here's what
show up.
I think that you do some of the same tropes, right? So you have you have Ryan Reynolds. Let's say he's the lead in this example. I'm
Okay.
writing the movie right now. He's the lead. He gets some fucking super OG fucking whatever that is just like too powerful. He wasn't ready for it, you know? And he orders pizza, and guess who the motherfucking pizza guy
Oh
is?
my God.
And then guess what the pizza guy does with the stone guy? They get even higher.
Yeah.
And then they're both flipping the fuck out.
And
You
then
know what
like
I'm saying?
something happens. Like
Yeah.
it's just a silly goose time, dude. Silly goose.
Fucking Joe Pesci shows up.
Oh my God.
Like, could you imagine?
What was it? The Sticky Bandits?
Yeah, dude.
The Wet Bandits, dude.
Oh, the
They
Sticky
left the
Bandits was
sink
the
on.
other one.
Yeah.
Remember when he had the tape on his hand? He was like, the Sticky Bandits. He's like, that's stupid. He put his hand in the coin thing.
Yeah. For the kids, dude. For the kids.
But these
I
guys
mean,
show up and they're like, I don't know. They owe him money. I don't know what happens. Like,
yeah.
doesn't
it's the
matter.
Well, this is the thing, man. You get fucking Joe Pesci and the other dude to come back, and they are drug dealers, and he forgot that he called them, and he thinks that they're fucking on him.
Or, dude, they're there to rob the house.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they're in.
right.
I mean, think about it. He's like, I know what to do. We got to booby trap the house.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Adult
God damn it.
men.
It's Christmas time. Like,
Yeah.
I want to watch this like tomorrow.
I know. It can't come out quick enough, in my opinion. So, dude, fuck Christopher Columbus.
Yeah. And
He
his stupid hat.
Yeah, he fucked so many people up when he came to this country. Anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
He did produce The Lighthouse.
did he?
Yeah. He was just a
The
producer,
Lighthouse?
dude. He didn't make the movie. That may be
Yeah.
why, now he's up there, dude. He's like, I fucking produced The Lighthouse. It's like, yeah, but you didn't make it.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So, I got one more. So, something that we hoped would happen happened, guys.
What?
Disney Plus will likely stream more premiere access movies like Milan. Says Disney are reportedly very happy with the Disney Plus streaming success of Milan and have hinted at more to come. Even the people that were pissed because that fucking little animated dragon wasn't in the movie, there were still enough people that watched it. Amid the ongoing global situation, the entertainment industry has been forced to adapt. This has resulted in a lurch towards streaming, with movies that a lurch, Corey White, with movies that were originally intended to be released in theaters instead being sent straight to people's homes. Disney has made one of the biggest leaps so far, sending the big budget live action remake of Milan to Disney Plus and skipping a theatrical release entirely, instead adding a premium fee of $29.99 on top of the standard subscription. Well, the company's more recent quarterly earnings call indicates that there were more of this to come. With what we've learned with Milan, is there's going to be a role for it strategically within our portfolio of offerings. Again, we're going to talk more about that at the investor conference in December. Disney CEO Bob Chapek explained when discussing releasing more tentpole movies to the streaming service along with premiere access. What that means for future releases remains to be seen, as does which movies Disney are thinking of removing from an intended theatrical run. After the success of Milan, many had expected Black Widow to be next, but so far that has not happened, with the MCU adventure recently giving a new theatrical release date of May the 7th, 2021 instead, unless we have a 6-week lockdown.
Now, in that next line, top investors at Disney are urging the company to release Black Widow straight to streaming.
Why would they not?
Why not?
Yeah. Why would they not?
Dude, you could put it in a theater if people want to go.
Yeah.
But dude, $30 at home?
Yeah.
Think about
Guess
how
where
many
I'm gonna
renewed
watch it.
subscriptions people would get just because it's
That's
another
what they're
Marvel
saying
movie.
on there. They're like, with what Netflix has done, we'd be fools not to do this. Like,
yeah,
cut that middleman out. Like, dude, they can still put it in the theater.
Yeah.
It could have a short run. Milan opened in a few, right?
It opened overseas, I think.
Oh, okay.
Which, to be fair, that's kind of the target demographic for that film.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be any kind of way, but
No.
real. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the. I wasn't born.
The movie, the numbers for moviegoers at the theater, they're always bigger overseas.
Yeah.
Than here anyway. Like, that's a huge market.
Yeah.
But dude, they could put it out here. You could have it released in the theaters and at home the same day. Some people will go to the theater and watch it. A lot of people will watch it at home.
Well, I think the compromise to all this is what we have talked about before. You release this shit in the theater, give it 4 to 6 weeks, then release it. Yeah. And then release it as premium
VOD.
access. Yeah, and then be done with it. Like,
$30 is fine too. That's a good price, dude.
Yeah, and like, how long does it take for them to release it, to manufacture a physical copy of a film? Because like, there's now in the modern world, there's no reason why they couldn't like anticipate it. Because when they show it in theaters now, it's not a film version of the movie. It's a digital version of the movie being projected, right? So you already have a copy of the film that you're going to use to put on the disc. So there's no reason why the physical release shouldn't line up with a VOD release, and you charge the same price for both.
Get it out there.
Yeah. So I think that would be the perfect compromise, because they said that Disney Plus has a record-breaking subscription rate. And I think the main reason why is because of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I think that all the Marvel properties are just going to further that. That's going to keep people around. And with kids being out of school, this, that, and the other, it's a streaming service that you can put on and not have to worry about them stumbling across something that they're not meant to watch.
By the end of the fourth quarter, it says they had 73 million paid subscribers.
Yeah.
How much is Disney Plus? $4.99?
I think it's $9.99.
$9.99. Holy shit!
I think. Let me see. How?
That is a shitload of. Well, and it depends too on. Some of them are bundled.
Yeah.
I think you can get like Hulu, Spotify, and Disney Plus too, like for like $12.99 or something. Like,
So it's $7. It's $6.99 a month.
okay,
So it's $7 a month. Netflix is raising their prices. They're fixing to go to $12 a month.
mm-hmm.
And like a lot of their original content is like going away. I mean, not all of it, of course, but a lot of it, because you have a lot of people producing limited series, right? You also have a lot of like the Marvel stuff was on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, the Marvel stuff is finally, we talked about this last week, I think, is finally going back over to Marvel. Netflix is going to have to pull that property down. And then you've got all those like shows about suicide. I'm not the target demographic for that by any means. But I do know that that's like that 13 Reasons Why or whatever that show was. Like that first season came out and it was like critically acclaimed. And then the rest of the seasons came out and they were like, this is trash compared to that last season. So it's like, how, with their price going up and their original content kind of going down, like other than their films are kind of killing it, but they're one offs.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get, why not release more film? Why not release more content on Disney Plus? And why not have access? And then you could charge a premium Disney Plus subscription. Because think about it.
Where you pay extra and you get access to the movies?
Yeah. Let's say once a week or once every 2 weeks, you're going to have a Disney film coming out in theaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of how big it is. Well, if I pay $15 a month or $20 a month for access to, the Disney Plus premium
Mm-hmm.
and I get access to all that shit, I'm okay with it as a
And
film.
they don't lose money, dude, because dude, and it says more than 73 million paid. That's a month.
Yeah, exactly.
That's $500 million.
Yeah.
A month.
They already made the money they spent on Fox back.
Yeah. So if they can keep that going, that doesn't include the moolah money.
No.
That fucking moolah. Shit. You know? We're not even counting that.
Yeah.
That's just paid subscribers for 1 month.
Yeah.
And probably going to keep all those subscribers throughout, Mandalorian or whatever else they drop. Well, like right after, towards the end of Mandalorian, doesn't WandaVision come out?
Yeah. Because Mandalorian's going to end in what, December or January?
Every 2 months, they're raking in $1 billion.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, hey, they did it right, though, man.
They did it right. They bought up all the properties.
Exactly.
They got everything set and ready.
Yeah, and start releasing original content on their own service. I mean, look, love or hate Disney, they make fucking smart business.
They did it right, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, dude.
It is, man. But that's all the movie news that I was able to find that was interesting.
And it took a fucking pandemic.
Yeah. And then Quibi, like, think about that shit.
Yeah, somebody's going to buy all that up.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing that somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Disney.
Well,
something. They probably Hulu, but that's Disney, dude. That's
Yeah. I heard that a lot of that stuff on Quibi was stuff that that these people tried to sell to Amazon or Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and nobody wanted it. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which seems crazy because like some of those shows were like, but
yeah,
like the Reno 911 reboot where they bring that back. I mean, who doesn't? You know that show's gonna make money. Like it just wasn't enough to. They just fucked themselves, dude, because you want people to watch this shit on their phone.
Yeah,
we went over it. Like you didn't have a fucking TV app. You fucked yourself.
Makes no sense. So, but yeah, man, that's all I got. It was a good week for news and for trailers. We got a shitload of trailers going on here. I think we should save this first trailer for last.
We also have a Justice League trailer. But yeah.
Okay. I'm pulling them all up and they're all playing, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's like when you went to that link that was on SoundCloud where they put all of the Dillinger Escape plans over
Yeah.
all their songs over one another, so you could listen to every song they ever released at one time.
But yeah,
And it
let's
was
let's put Prospect towards the bottom and start with the Fresh Prince reunion.
yeah. Let's start with
We got a
that.
trailer.
Yeah. We got a mother.
Let's see if
freak.
we're right, guys. Let's see if it's the R.I.P. Uncle Phil. It's got to be, dude.
I would think so.
We talked about it before, like everybody coming together, maybe for Uncle Phil's funeral, or
Yeah.
it's a tribute.
This is not the greatest show in the world. No, whoa.
It's a tribute. Because
Yeah.
we all had an Uncle Phil growing up.
Yeah.
Are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Got it pulled up, Trav?
You're muted, bud.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah. Steadicam, dude. Was this a... So is this an episode or just a...
I think it's just like a retrospective, maybe.
Yeah, they used to come out at the beginning and do this.
Really?
Yeah, to get the crowd hyped up. Oh. Everybody.
Yeah. Oh, snap.
Yeah, they're bringing
right.
both of them back.
Okay, okay. I'm kind of excited to see that, guys.
Yeah. There was talks. He couldn't get along. Remember when they switched the character?
Yeah.
They didn't get... Will Smith didn't get along with her or something like that.
Right.
And I mean,
But it's great for them to include her, though.
Yeah.
I like those. I like these little retrospectives that's been coming out about stuff that we grew up on.
Yeah.
They're neat. I'm definitely gonna give it a go.
Yeah, for sure. Next, we got Servant Season 2. I forgot Season 1 came out.
Yeah, right? I don't even remember that. I think we watched the trailer, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Wasn't this the robot baby or some weird shit?
What are they doing with that baby?
All right, let's see. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. They doing with that baby? Uh-oh.
Oh shit, Ron Weasley.
He's here to get rid of that baby.
Oh, I remember the trailer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. I still don't know what this baby's got to do with it.
All right.
You better fix your drywall, man.
Kind of makes me want to watch that first season.
Yeah. That's not how you carry a baby.
No. You hurt the baby that way.
Hot water burn baby.
All right, I'm ready for 2 weeks to live.
Have we seen this trailer?
I don't
I
remember
think we
watching.
did. Well, okay.
I think I watched a movie called The Ring once about the little
Yeah.
shorter time span.
7 days.
This one you get 2 weeks.
2 weeks, dude.
Yeah.
A fortnight.
You
What?
can be like you can be a little lazy about this one.
Yeah, you can hang out. You can burn a week.
Yeah.
Well, you can still sleep in the first 3 days and
Not worry about
panic
it.
the
Stress it.
rest. Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Got Maisie in it.
Is she Scottish?
Every role Maisie Williams has, she doesn't know who she is anymore.
So she's a badass. Isn't it?
Let me tell you something. Uh,
A revenge story.
Heard that playing it safe. You best start believing in car chase sequences, honey. You're in one.
Damn.
Wait.
I don't know what's going on there. Cheers, mate.
Chaz.
Girl.
Got Mickey Rourke in it, dude.
Only reason I clicked on. Hey, this is this Bella Thorne's the girl that made everybody pay for her OnlyFans and she didn't put nudes on there.
Yeah.
Bunch of simps paid for like bathing suit pictures.
Well, I mean, you know.
I think she
She was
made a
only
couple
charging
mil.
a lot.
She made a lot.
Yeah.
Remember, there's a big stink about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see
It's
what's
like
up.
nudes
Big,
are
fish,
like
big
that.
fish about it.
All right,
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play. Let's see if Mickey Rourke's a beat up piece of meat.
Is that him?
Bad lieutenant decision. Oh, he's the sheriff. Movie should be called Daddy.
Did fucking Mickey Rourke have more work done?
I'm here to kill the man who shot my paw.
He looks like Val Kilmer.
He looks like a fish.
Yeah.
Mickey the fish. Hey, it's Mickey the
He looks
fish.
like. Have y'all? He looks like. Hold on. Let me
I mean,
find it.
he looks like a lesbian.
Yeah, he looks like a 40-year-old lesbian.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. He should have just aged.
yeah.
He looks like. Here, I'm going to general with it. Looks like a
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Bogdanov.
His lips are fucking weird.
Yeah.
Put that axe down, girl. You hear?
Yeah. I can hear your heart beating. All right. I'm ready for high ground.
Aren't you ready, Trav?
I'm getting there.
I love this comment. I really love Simon Baker. He's such a cool actor.
All right, ready when y'all are.
3, 2, 1, play.
I don't know. That's a cool shot. Oh God, is that? Is that
What you
fucking
call
Russell
him?
Crowe?
Gonna get Apocalypto up in here. He's gonna train him up. Bingo.
Man, this movie is going to be good just for the shots alone.
Mm. Okay. That's not a civilization. This looks pretty good. Just saw a YouTube titty.
That looks good.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. High ground.
Didn't they just release one of these?
Man, they come
Man,
out all the time.
they've been shitting out at man movies for the past 10 years, dude.
I remember we watched the trailer for a new one like 3 weeks ago.
Did we?
It felt like it.
Well, no, that was the documentary about it, man.
Oh.
This is like a franchise they've built about him, and they've kind of, yeah.
Oh, I
Anyways,
messed up. I just put. Yeah, hang on.
See, what had happened was
he clicked 4 instead of 3.
Back to high ground. Delete that comment. I put. It was here first. All right, I'm back on it. Is he a tech guy?
Something like that.
Internet protocol?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Y'all know he's gonna kick somebody's ass. Subtitles. He's gonna kick everybody's ass in that room. Inuyasha.
I'm glad that commercial was funny enough to you that you remembered it.
Look on me.
Chairs, standing up, sitting down, lots of people, axes, hatches, hero fan, like
Mask.
knee block, one tier, range shot, alternating
Umbrellas.
things. So much action you could shake a stick at. Oh, it's good enough. We wouldn't have made 5 of these.
So is this a prequel?
I don't think it's a really matter moment, you know. Like
You could watch them in reverse.
You're gonna be watching It Man 5, Griffin. I don't think the relevancy of any of that matters, dude.
I mean,
I'm sure there's somebody out there that's their shit.
Yeah, I could think of a few.
All right, Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, Disney Plus. All right, let's see what we have here.
Not ready?
Some family shenanigans, maybe.
You know it's gonna be funny. All right, 3,
I'm ready when y'all are.
2, 1, play. Gonna be better than that last Christmas special. Shit. She's going back in time.
I'm cheeky jokes, I see.
Oh, uh-oh. That's already
Also
up
dropped
today.
today. Yeah.
Come on
It
now.
looks cute and stupid
Yeah.
all at once. Like a good holiday movie.
Silly goose time.
Ever since that Lego Batman movie, dude, I'll watch them all.
Now,
Pieces of a Woman.
yeah, so when I saw this, it's got Shia LaBeouf in it. So it's either
A horror movie?
a horror movie where he kills a chick, or it's a complete mental
It says it's a
breakdown.
drama.
Yeah, but horrors are kind of drama filled, you know?
I mean,
So,
see what you did there.
yeah. Well, I'm ready, though.
Ready, Trav?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. They gonna chop her up
Come
in
in.
pieces?
Come in clutch, Shaw.
Oh,
Coveted called
Cry-
him.
crying monkey.
Crying monkey.
Winner of 2 awards in that place that no one goes other than rich people.
Living off the grid. Home birth.
When Shia LaBeouf didn't have a tank, he had his hands.
Oh. This is gonna be real
Oh,
serious.
oh, they lost the baby.
Probably shouldn't have put that in the trailer. Executive producer Martin Scorsese. I'm guessing they like split. He starts drinking.
Yeah.
He's like, I got this. This looks depressing.
This looks like some motherfuckers acting their ass off.
Yeah, it made me think of that. What was the movie with remember where him
Manchester by the Sea.
no, that shit. When their marriage fell apart, he was a playwright. Kylo Ren.
Oh,
Oh, I know what you
Scarlett
mean. I know.
Johansson?
Them acting their
Yeah,
ass off in that
the
movie, dude.
Marriage Story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Netflix
something.
version of that.
Not particularly my cup of tea, but something
That was a
I
good
could
movie,
watch.
dude. Yeah.
Something I can watch probably with Deidre and be like, all right,
They
yeah,
delivered.
yeah.
That made me think of that movie. Kinda, you know.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
What? Oh, yeah, this is
Jerry?
real. I'm going to go ahead and predict it, though, real quick. That last film, it's coming to Netflix, right?
Yeah.
If they allow Netflix to be nominated for Academy Awards, it's
Yeah.
going to get a nomination. I'm predicting it now. But yeah, I fucking love Tom and Jerry. Okay,
Yeah.
like it was one of my favorite cartoons growing up, and the only thing that I'm worried about,
The live action thing?
yeah, is them talking. They don't need to talk.
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
So I haven't watched it yet.
it's got the
But
little badass girl.
yeah, from Kick Ass,
Yeah.
I'm
American
ready.
badass.
I am.
You ready,
Alright.
Trev? Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Trailer drop today.
Hell yeah, they kept them in like cartoon, like 2D.
They part ways? No, don't part. Oh no. They're gonna end up at the same place. Oh, put you in my pocket. Cheese. She's gonna get a cat. Got a cat.
He's got the little bellhop.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Silly goose time. Tiki talk. Great. Classic Tom and Jerry, dude.
Yeah, for real.
And you know those two particular actors, you know they probably love the fact that they got to do this.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, it's falling apart. Slam the window on him. Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
That looks hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they did it right,
Yeah.
man.
Subtle things like keeping them quiet, like let it be visual comedy.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole thing. It's fucking all slapstick.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's the spirit of Tom and Jerry, you know?
yeah, Tom and Jerry, and then fucking Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Like those were always my favorites because it was just you see these elaborate fucking contraptions
Yeah.
that they would come up with.
Well, you remember on Tom and Jerry the bulldogs?
Oh my god,
The
dude.
son and the father?
Yeah. That
Oh,
shit
that
was
thing,
so
that
fucking
bulldog
funny.
kicked his ass. Every time he'd grab him around the neck, just start beating his face like.
Oh god. I'm gonna have to see if Tom and Jerry's available. I'm gonna put it on the fucking Plex server, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know about this next one, but it's called Werewolf. So
All right, y'all
I'm
ready?
good. Yeah.
You ready,
I'm
Trev?
ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Somebody said the movie should be called Dogs. Damn, that's loud. These Nazis?
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
The grim fairy tale. Does anyone speak in the movie? Cujo, man. Oh shit. Ooh.
It looks like they used werewolf as just like a weird, like off-putting thing, but the movie's really about something else.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's layers.
Yeah, like it's it's odd enough that like I don't know why I'm interested, but I am.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because whenever I was watching, I'm like, there's
something's going on.
Yeah, and it's all right. It's a foreign, right? So you know they're going to approach the subject matter in a different way we would. So especially with it being like Jewish children,
Mm-hmm.
like whoa, you know. So, are we gonna do this one next, or are we gonna do this one next to last?
Yeah, I'll do it. We'll skip it. I saw
Alright.
today where there was a trailer out. So this says black and white trailer. Is that all it is? They just made it black and white?
There's supposedly some added footage.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll go under. We'll do these other two and then save those two. Stop for that.
So Knuckle Dust.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fucking hardcore band, right? Like Knuckle Dust goes on fucking tour with
Who's
fucking Knock.
Knuckle? Oh.
There's
You know?
nothing like Knuckle Dust sounds like a band that's got more dive bombs than Pantera.
Yeah, exactly. And if this fucking music in this trailer ain't bumping, I'm thumbs down in it. I'm ready.
Ready, Trev?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Knuckle.
Thumbs down.
I'm down.
No.
B movie.
This is a movie that's on while you're chilling during your Netflix and chill session.
So you only catch the end of it?
It's strictly for the volume.
What the fuck?
That dude's got one hell of a mullet.
Handguns, barrel rolls, silencers, close quarters combat, door
Knuckle
barging.
What the fuck?
B
Bring
movie.
up the gimp.
Okay.
Alright. That is super B movie though. Jesus Christ.
Don't tell a soul.
Rainn Wilson?
See, this is gonna be serious. I have a feeling that this is gonna be serious.
All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
Is that the kid from It? I
He
think it
looks
is.
familiar. That kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. And Shazam. That's the kid from Shazam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fucked up. All right.
Don't look bad. Don't tell a soul, dude, what you saw here today.
All right. How y'all want to watch these?
Let's do fucking Justice League. Have you
Alright.
seen the trailer for Prospect, Trav?
No.
All right, yeah, let's do Justice League first. I like this comment, colorblind people. Wait, this looks like the last trailer.
Well, now look, this is 3 minutes. But see, there's another trailer on HBO Max that came out today. And it's not black and white. Is this the same?
The articles I read said the black and white was the new one.
Yeah, I saw the same articles.
Well, like this trailer here is not black and white on HBO Max's YouTube channel.
May have to give it an honorable
See
mention.
if all right. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, it's the same trailer. The other one's just in color. Of the new clips at the end there.
They sprinkled a couple little things in there.
Tidbits.
Yeah, because
That hologram of Superman, I don't remember ever seeing that.
yeah, The
Other
hologram.
than blinking, you miss it. Not just like an actual shot of it showing him like flying and shit. Which I
Yeah.
mean, that's really not anything, but you know, it's something.
Yeah, the
Well,
one
the-
HBO put up some color, and it doesn't have them talking at the end. Difference.
The hologram of Superman, the Wonder Woman with her armor on, that wasn't in the other one. And Vic watching those kids play, that wasn't in it. And there was another one. Dude, I watched that other Justice League trailer so many fucking times. Like, I'm beyond excited for the Snyder Cut. So,
Same, good sir.
Yeah.
they couldn't have picked a better fucking song to put over that trailer.
Oh.
But all right, Trav. This next trailer might be a contender for next week's episode.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't have anything. So, and this trailer is pretty interesting.
I saw an article about it that said it was like it's a good Western and space movie that you need to watch.
Yeah. And fun fact, it was a short film on dust that they turned into a full length.
Okay.
Let's see if you spot somebody familiar.
Yeah,
Are y'all ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Red Trap?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
Oh.
Hear that voice?
Yep.
Yeah, on the side there's the short film. It's like, I might watch it. Yeah, I don't know if I trust him. Y'all think after they saw him in this, they were like, what about him for Mandalorian? Because if you'll notice, like when I was first watching the trailer, it's the same effect on his voice.
Yeah.
He sounds, when he's got the helmet on and certain words, like it's like just like the Mandalorian. Almost the same effect.
It dropped in 18 though.
Yeah. Yes, it came out before.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
That's what I was
think-
saying. Like they saw him in this and wanted him to be in the Mandalorian, not the
okay,
other
I
way
got
around.
you. Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, I want to watch it. Y'all want to watch it next week? Because I don't have anything else either. And
Sure.
the article said it was good. I didn't go too deep in it because I was afraid it would spoil some shit. So
I like the fact that it's on another planet. It's got the sci-fi itch.
Yeah. I'm DTW. It looks very interesting, very unique.
I'm also gonna watch the short.
I'll
It's
probably
15 minutes, and I'm gonna drop it in the short film area. So I'll watch that. I may watch the movie first
yeah.
because I
I'm
don't
gonna
want
watch.
that to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But it's only 15 minutes, and I just want to see,
Yeah. What the difference is and what.
yeah.
Because I mean, how often do you see a short film that actually gets to become a full feature?
Right.
So it would be interesting to compare and contrast the two, and see what changed in development and what
How have we
state.
not heard of this?
Yeah, for real, right? I mean, I think once Mandalorian's over, dude's gonna blow up.
Yeah.
I would love to see him in a Marvel movie.
Oh yeah.
Like I loved it. Everything that I've seen him in, I've really enjoyed. And I mean, I'm excited about watching this just to see what he's going to be capable of,
Mm-hmm.
So,
But yeah. That's what we're doing next. So we're gonna double down. We're gonna do a little double down the Mandalorian next week.
it tripled. Well, he might not be in the short
He ain't
film.
in the short.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, right. Like I'll do a short film. But dude, when you hear that effect on his voice, it's the same. He sounds exactly the same in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could dig deep on that and see if, like, maybe like John Favreau saw that and was like, "This got to be good."
Yeah.
But yeah, we're watching Prospect next week, Mandalorian episode.
Yeah.
That's it, guys.
It's good to go.
Keep it real.